Have you noticed how time feels different now? When we were teenagers, a summer felt like forever, right? The wait between Christmases, that felt eternal. But somewhere along the way, somewhere between careers, kids, bills, and responsibilities, time sped up. Days started to slip past, months became blurs, and years suddenly felt like a long weekend. Now, if you're Gen X, you probably felt it. You wake up one day and realize the kids are grown, you've got more gray hair than you remember, and dreams that you swore you'd get around to someday still haven't happened. Not because you didn't want them, but because life kept saying, not now. You've got work in the morning. We were told time equals money, but nobody warned us that in that equation, time is the part we can never get back. Think about it. How many birthdays, recitals, anniversaries, school plays, lazy Sundays, morning coffees, or quiet conversations did your job steal from you? The frustrating part isn't the hours we gave, it's that we traded time for someone else's goals. We traded sunsets for deadlines. We traded memories for meetings. We traded life for a paycheck that barely keeps up. And here's the truth we rarely say out loud. Most people don't hate work. They hate that work seems to own their life. Somewhere along the way, we stopped living and started waiting. Waiting for Friday, waiting for vacation, waiting for retirement, waiting for what exactly? But here's the part that most people don't realize, the part no one told us. Time doesn't magically multiply when you retire. It doesn't slow down. The pace doesn't change. The only thing that changes is whether you own your time or someone else does. Now, here's the good news, and I need you to hear this clearly. It's not too late. Gen X grew up without smartphones, without social media, without automation, without opportunity at our fingertips. We didn't have access to the tools people have today. But now, we're living in a time when you can build something of your own, not someday, and not when the kids move out, not when you're 70, but right now. A business that you can run in 2 hours a day, a system that works even when you're living your life, not chained to it. It's a business that gives you something rare and priceless, your time back. And I know what you might be thinking. Yeah, but my chance has passed. No, it hasn't. You know, you're not too old. You're not too late. You're not behind. You're finally in that perfect position. You lived enough life to know what matters. And it's not that the clock in and clock out cycle. It's not more overtime. It's not missing another moment you're never going to get back. You don't need to start over. You need to start smarter. Imagine what it feels like to wake up and actually have a choice, to spend your time how you want, not how someone else schedules it. Imagine having the freedom to travel, to slow down, to say yes to family, to say no to stress, to build something that pays you without consuming you. That's what the Legacy Builder program was built for. Not to replace your life, but to give it back to you, to show you how to build an automated online business in just a couple hours a day, to take control of your income and your schedule, instead of renting both from an employer, to stop losing time and start reclaiming it. Because here's the truth. You can make more money, you can find another job, but you will never get back another minute of your life. Time isn't something we earn. It's something we spend. And it's time to start spending it on things that matter. Look, if something inside you knows you were meant for more, that you weren't put here just to punch a clock until the clock runs out, then stop waiting for permission. Explore what's possible. Click the link in my bio. Watch the overview. Take the first step towards a future where you actually own your time instead of losing it. Because the moment you decide you're done giving your life to someone else's schedule, that's the moment your time finally becomes yours again.